What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a Monday night. It is 9:30 in the evening. Hope everybody is doing well on this Monday night. Thanks so much for being here. Again, taking a live look as we get to the cameras section in Orlando tonight and also in Oak Hill. You see a little bit of fog trying to develop in Oak Hill. Thanks so much again for being here. Those are live looks courtesy of our friends at WeatherStem. Really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy night as you wind down to go to bed to hang out with me tonight and chat about the weather. In tonight's show, we are going to talk about the warm-up that is here. We are going to continue to watch things warm up through the remainder of the work week. And spoiler alert, this is something that's going to continue, I think, through the Thanksgiving holiday and maybe even a little bit beyond. But beyond, there's going to be some colder air, I think, lurking. We're going to talk about that and some of the mechanisms and some of the buzzwords that you might hear when it comes to some of the chill that's going to be sliding back down, I think, the eastern two-thirds of the country by the time we get to the latter stages of November and then into the early part of December. That's when our next round of cold is going to be possible. And then, of course, if there is time at the end of the show or sometimes during the show, post in the comment section where you're tuning in from, and we will get to it. If you have any questions, of course, along the way, post that as well. Thank you a ton for being here. So we're going to start tonight just with the actual surface patterns, the actual setup, and we have high pressure. There's actually like two little cells that I'm seeing. The one where the big blue H is off the Carolina coastline, and then we have this one here closer to the Big Bend. Notice how kind of the arrows diverge a little bit. There's a chunk of high pressure pretty much right over the Big Bend there, and that is going to help to keep our winds on the calmer side. So I would expect under the clear skies and calmer winds for fog to develop across the I-75 corridor late tonight, early tomorrow. So keep it easy on your way into work tomorrow, way into school tomorrow. We're going to do that. But skies are mainly clear if you're trying to go see the Leonid meteor shower. Again, peaking over the next couple of hours here. The shower is active through December 2nd. Nonetheless, and you're going to want to find the constellation Leo, the one that looks like a lion. That's why they're called the Leonid meteor shower. But anyway, that peaks tonight. The moon is good. Sky cover is good. The one deal with meteor showers is when we talk about these, a lot of people will be like, okay, I didn't see anything. You have to be patient with meteors, especially the ones that are not as intense as the Perseids or the Geminids. The Geminids are coming up next month. There's only 10 to 15 meteors per hour. On average, on any given night, you can see 4 meteors or 4 shooting stars an hour. So it's not much more elevated than your typical night. So it's not that crazy. It's not one of our best ones, but it's something cool to look at. Again, if you are away from the city lights, that's the key thing. You got to get away from the city lights, and then you have to let your eyes adjust to the darkness to pick up on the meteor. So it takes about a good 15 minutes. Just sit back, lay back, and look up. We're going to talk much more about the Geminid meteor shower in the middle of December. That is my personal favorite meteor shower of the bunch. They burn at different colors because typically our meteor showers come from comets. That one comes from an asteroid, so there's different elements involved. It's a cool meteor shower, and it's a very active one as well. So we'll touch on that as we get we will get back in on that a little bit later on in December, in the middle of December. High temperatures tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. If you like it warm, if you like it comfortably warm, we have air temperatures in the mid to upper 70s across the northern tier of Florida. We're at 81 in Orlando. We're at 83 degrees in Tampa. Miami, we are back into the lower 80s. The only spot that is average is Naples. That's the gray. We're at 81 degrees. So most every spot in Florida after our little chill of what, I guess a week ago today, we are certainly lifting out of that. And even more so on Wednesday. And I think we continue to build on this through the week. We're back to 83 in Orlando. Vero Beach, we're at 81. Jacksonville, we're at 82. Tallahassee, we're at 82. Miami, back to 83 degrees. So it is going to stay pretty mild, comfortably warm, I think, through Thanksgiving. And we're going to get more to the long-range pattern on the other side of the break that's coming up in just 1 minute. I always like to show the why on the show. We have a lot of time to talk and nerd out and get into the science and meteorology of it all. And the main reason why we are going to be not only dry to answer Melissa's question, she's asking if we need rain. There is no rain in sight. Likely we'll be dry for at least the next 10 days, if not even longer. We are well within the dry season. I do expect drought conditions to come roaring back over the next couple of weeks. And I do expect very limited rain chances in that 7 to 10 day pattern that we're going to take a look at and beyond the next 10 days. So unfortunately, while the weather is super comfortable, that's the double-edged sword of it all, is that it also leads to an increasing drought potential. So high pressure overhead, this is now through Friday, and it's hanging out over the Yucatan. When you get these chunks of high pressure, it promotes sinking air. When air sinks, it warms up. When it sinks, it dries out. So a couple of things here going on. We're warming things up. We call it compressional heating. That's what we have going on with that chunk of high pressure that resides about 15 to 20,000 feet above your head. And it also helps to kind of deflect all these weather systems. So you see these that little donut hole right there, then another one there. It helps to force everything north. And that is why we are going to keep things dry, I think, for the foreseeable future. So again, if you like it dry, it's going to be good for you. If you want some rain, which we could all use some, say for maybe a few areas that had the big time flooding a couple of weeks ago, there's just not much rain in our future. Alrighty, guys, I have to get my first break in. When we return, we are looking long range. We're going to go to the medium range first and talk about Thanksgiving Day. We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving preview. That's in 10 days, or I guess less than 10 days now. We'll give you my thoughts on Thanksgiving Day in Central Florida. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper into trying to forecast the next big cold snap of, I guess, the season. It's the season. And by the way, that other season, it's coming to a close. We'll touch on that briefly. More on that coming up in tomorrow's show. It's the hurricane season, by the way. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you in 3 minutes. What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a Monday night. Time now 9:42, and we're going to get into the long range segment as we transition out of hurricane season. Which hold on, here we go. I got the countdown. 13 days to go. The final day of the season is November 30th, and as we talked about after Melissa, the season was going to shut down regardless of all the hype. Again, I told you I would save any more soapboxes that I stand on until December 1st. So that will be my final hammer that I come down on as we kind of recap the 2025 hurricane season. That will be on December 1st. But 13 days to go officially of the hurricane season. It's over. Okay, it's over. I just sent out the Tropics Watch newsletter. By the way, clickorlando.com/newsletters. It's Tropics Watch. If you subscribe to that, now there's only one more edition of the season left, unless there's anything that develops in December. But I started it off tonight by saying the fat lady hasn't sung just yet, but she is clearing the pipes. And I'm telling you, she's about to sing again. There's nothing out there. Never was going to be. All that stuff was just noise. And again, I'll go in that soapbox in about 13 days, December 1st. So that's 14 days. Anyway, hey, Jennifer, how's it going? Melissa, what is up? Let's see. Melissa's asking, does that mean that we could get more wildfires? It's hard to say about the wildfires and because you need a spark. I can't forecast the spark per se because this time of the year, it's more than likely human caused. We don't have a ton of lightning around when we get into the dry season. Certainly, we have to worry about once we start getting into spring and those thunderstorms, if we haven't received any big-time rain or anything like that, that sets the stage for it a little bit more. But all in all, yes, it does. When you're dry, when you don't have a lot of rain, it sets the stage for more wildfires. So that's something that we're really going to be watching as we get into wildfire season, which is the early stages of spring, February, March, April. That's when we really start to get ourselves into that. Okay, temperature outlook. This is going to be from November 25th through December 1st. Right smack dab in the middle of that period is Thanksgiving Day. And I do think it is going to be warmer than normal across Central Florida, across the entire chunk of the Southeast. I think really, with the exception of maybe Northern Virginia to D.C. and then into New England, I think you're going to end up seeing this turn. If you're traveling into Northern Virginia through maybe the Philly area and then back up, I think that has a shot to end up trending cooler than normal. But for the Southeast, it is going to be on the warmer side. Then we'll look as we get back into the Pacific Northwest and into the Intermountain West. You see the blue return in that time frame. That is when we could have a significant cold front come back down and then eventually by the first week of December, make its way right back into Central Florida. So that's something that is on the long-range radar going down, coming into the pipeline. As far as Thanksgiving goes, now this is for the greater Central Florida area from Ocala to Mitco to Orlando to Bushnell to Center Hill, Lake Panasoffkee into Bunnell, Palm Coast, Sanford, Kissimmee, St. Cloud, trying to get a town from everybody, from all the counties in Central Florida. But this is what I have for you in the Central Florida area. I think we wake up to temperatures in the 60s for the most part in 10 days. By the afternoon, we are back into the low to mid 80s. Okay. It's going to be pretty warm. I think we have a shot to top out in the mid 80s. I will obviously fine tune that forecast as we get a little closer to the actual day and break it down hour by hour and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be a pretty warm Thanksgiving and a pretty warm end to November. Maybe on the 30th is kind of the earliest I see that next round of colder air sliding into play. I'll show you there by the temperature anomaly graphic, and I had to make sure that this is the latest model in here, and I believe it is. So we'll take this further out. Any red on this map means above normal temperature. So this is for Thanksgiving. This is the temperature anomaly. We can take the temperature, so to speak. 15 degrees above normal. It's nothing too crazy here. Central Florida, 4 to 6 degrees above normal. Our average highs are in the upper 70s, so that'll put us in the low to mid 80s. depending upon how the warmth gets situated. So then we'll take things out a little further, and you see that big bubble of blue pop back down. And by Monday, December 1st, we are back to below normal across the board. So the temperature anomalies here anywhere from 5 to 10 or so degrees above or below normal. Again, averages in the mid 70s by this point. That'll put us likely highs in the mid 60s, lows maybe back into the 40s, if not even colder, depending upon where it's situated, how it travels. And again, that stuff that'll be fine tuned. But just know that as we turn the calendar page into December, there's likely going to be another round of colder air coming back down the pipeline. If you caught our winter forecast, quote unquote winter, I know we're not really forecasting snow here, of course, but it looks like if you enjoy the cold, December is going to be your month to enjoy it. I think there's going to be a lot of the seesaw ups and downs for December. But then once we get to the middle of January, that's when I think it runs away in warmth and runs away in dry weather and all of that stuff. So that's what I'll be focused on towards the back half of winter. I think it's going to really turn dry, really turn warm. If you like kind of what we had for Halloween, what we had to start November, and what we likely are going to have to start December, savor it, because I don't think it lasts very long. Get blowtorch coming. Alrighty, guys, we're going to wrap this up after we take this short break. Post any comments or questions in the chat. Really appreciate you guys being here tonight. I'll see you in about 3 minutes. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We have a couple of minutes to wrap this up on a Monday evening. Thanks a ton for being here tonight. as hurricane season winds down. Now, good question here. Caribbean temperatures are so warm with the lack of systems in the Gulf and only one system in the Caribbean this year. Does that mean the beginning of next year could start active? It certainly doesn't help matters that we have everything juiced already. Now, we are going to have cold fronts come down that's going to help at least the waters along the shelf of the Atlantic and the Gulf and in the Gulf going forward. The one area where these cold fronts really don't get down to will be the Caribbean. And you see that we are still above normal. Anywhere there's the yellow or the orange color, certainly the red, that is where sea surface temperatures remain above normal for this time of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see. The big deal out of this is that there still needs to be something to trigger said things. It's never good when you hold on to the warmth this long, and that can lead to something. But more often than not, even if we got an early start, say in April or May, or even early season storms in June, they're typically sloppy because they're not the long track ones coming from Africa, thankfully. And again, they're typically weak. The environment as a whole in the Atlantic is still not still not that conducive. But nonetheless, never like to see the season start off with warmer than normal water temperatures either. So that's going to be something to contend with before. But I'm not overly concerned right now. But we will see. But no, that's a good point for sure. Let's see here. Thanksgiving plans. Post what you guys are doing for sure. Just hanging out at home for sure. Just hanging out, just having enjoying some turkey with some families coming into town. Should be good, although it's gonna be really warm again. We have temperatures in the low to mid 80s, so it should be fun. Let me know what you guys are doing for sure. Post in the comments what you were doing. I'm sorry that I don't know what happened after Tuesday last week, so sorry that nobody was here and all that stuff. Have a great night as well, Melissa. Hope you are doing well this evening. Jennifer, hope you're doing well. Sorry I missed your comment before. A lot of comments tonight. So thank you guys for always being so active. And thank you for posting those comments in there as always. That about does it for tonight's show, guys. Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to talk more about this warmth that is going to build. The weather's relatively quiet, but it is going to continue to get warmer and warmer and warmer leading up to Thanksgiving, as we kind of highlighted here in our long-range forecast. We're going to talk much more about that. We're going to talk about some of the fog potential coming in for tonight. And all that stuff. I love it. I wish that they were better. But I'm glad that you found us here and are a part of our 9:30 weather family. So always appreciate you tuning in. But I know for up here in your area, I wish that they were better. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I will see you guys back here 9:30 tomorrow, or better yet, in a couple of minutes. If you're watching on News 6 Plus, keep it parked right there. Don't need to go anywhere. I'll see you at 10 o'clock. Have a great night, guys. Good to see you again.